Hello, besties. How are we all doing today? I'm sure we are good. I'm good too. My name is Janet. If you are coming across my channel for the first time, yeah, and I actually help people. I put people through with tips and tricks. I advise you on what you can do and what you should not do if you intend to study abroad. So I want you to subscribe to my channel. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, don't worry. I'm sure you will learn a lot. I am doing so much research just to bring this video to you so that I give you updates that will help you study abroad. So I want you to watch this video to the end so you're able to learn three things that you should consider when deciding on the country you want to go study abroad in. I understand that there's so many countries in the world, and I feel like the most difficult thing, one of the most difficult things that people find really difficult is deciding on what country they want to go study in. Really, I know that this is a difficult decision to make because there are so many countries in the world, and there are some that are really, there's some countries that are really, really overhyped, that are hyped. Everybody wants to study in Canada, everybody wants to go to the US, everyone wants to go to Australia. But think about it before you decide where you want to go to. Consider these three factors that I want to explain to you. Number one, before you decide what country you want to go to, think about it. What is your goal? What do you want to settle for in life? That's the question. Think about it. What have I done in the past? Where I am in the present? What experiences do I have? And what do I think that my future career tends towards? What is my ambition in life? Then once you decide on what that ambition is, then you now define, look for the country that's looking for people in that field. That is how you decide. That's the number one thing. Because there will be no need for you to go to it, especially if you have a long-term plan or you have a long-term goal of maybe after studying, I want to settle in that country, I want to stay in that country. If you have a long-term goal, if you have a long-term plan, if that is your plan, make sure that you first decide what you want to do. After this, now Google or search countries that are looking for immigrants in this field. Example, probably I'm into early childhood training. Probably I train children. I studied early childhood for my undergraduate. I want to go do my masters, and I'm thinking, what country should I go to? I'm confused. Should I go to Canada? Should I go? I think the best country right now for you to go to, maybe you can go to Canada. And my plan is maybe to stay afterwards, after studies. And you want to be strategic about the province too. Because there's some province in Canada right now, example Nova Scotia, that are looking for early childhood educators. You will find a job that easily. Yeah, but that does not mean that for other courses in Canada you find the job easily, right? So you want to be sure, and that is why you want to think about it. Policies in the country I want to go to. What course is this policy favoring right now? What courses are they favoring right now? If you're studying engineering or your goal is to go study engineering, I think my best bet for you right now would be Australia because right now they are looking for engineers. So you want to think about it. If your plan long term is to stay in that country after study, and of course we all know that it's quite easy. The long term, the settling in Australia is quite easy. It's even easier than most countries, basically. So you want to think about these things, right? Yeah. So you research countries whose policies tend to favor immigrants who specialize in your field. If your goal is to study and return home, of course, then you can decide to look for a country whose certificate will be prestigious enough to find the high-paying job in your home country when you return home, without minding the fees that might be included. So if your goal, and that's why I say you have to define your goal. If your goal is to go back to your home country after study, then my best bet for you is to define a prestigious country in your that your home country, or from your home country perspective, that they believe that, oh, this country is prestigious. Then you look for a top ranking school in that country that you can study in. Example, if for example you're from Africa and you want to go study probably in the UK, you're looking for a prestigious country that when you get back home, so it's going to be so prestigious. You won't you you can, maybe if you're from an English speaking country in Africa, you might say, okay, I want to go to the United Kingdom and I want to go to like University of Oxford. It's prestigious enough. Even when you take your certificate back home, jobs would want, regardless of the course, basically, jobs will want, yeah, they want you in their company. So you want to be after the prestigiousness of that university. At the same time, although it can be quite expensive, but you would end your money in the long run. You will get your money back. You will get your return on investment in the long run. So define your goal. Second, you want to actually, the second one is actually in relation to the first point. You want to confirm the job market. If your goal is to probably stay long term, or to decide what country to decide, you need to confirm their job market. Is there a job market for my course in this country? Some people actually write to people on LinkedIn, and I think it's a good idea to, if they reply to you can write to several people. If one does not reply, another person would reply. You can write to people who study the course that you feel, okay, I can see that this person attended this university I want to attend in this country. They study the course I want to study. It's possible you write to them and say, oh, okay, please, I can see you study this course. In your class, how many people after you graduated got a job in this field? It's not a bad question to ask, you know. You can even ask, I'm asking you, please, can you tell me, after your graduation, were you able to find the job easy? How easy was it for you to find the job? I think some universities, I was going to one university, I think New Avon University in the US. The course, I think the course was criminology, no, forensic studies. It was forensic studies, and on that website they wrote how many of their students graduated each year, how many of them got a job, and where they are working at the moment. And that was really helpful. But it's not a university that write this. Don't forget that we are looking at the country. But first, in the process of this, you have to still consider the detailed things, like the course. Because if you study, like example, if you go to a country where they do not need people who study supply chain management, and you go and study supply chain management, there's no guarantee that if you want to stay after studies that you will find a job in this field. And there are two ways to finding a job, right? Probably you have an experience in that role, or probably you have education in that role. So if you do not have experience in that role, you will not be hired. If you do not have education in that, you will not be hired. So you want to think about these things, right? So consider it very well. There will be no need for you to study a course that you know you might not be able to find a job in, regardless of the country, unless you're studying this course is free. So if you, example, if you, because there are so many free schools in Germany, if you get to maybe study in Germany for free, although most of them are always in German language, but if you get to like study in Germany for free, and okay, you can say, okay, there's no cost on me. The only cost is probably I pay semester contribution and I pay for feeding, accommodation, and it's free. If you after study, if you don't find a job, it's still fair on you, right? But at the same time, or maybe if you don't find a job in your field, or you find a low paying job, it's still fair on you, right? Yeah. So you want to consider these things. Also, I would advise that if you would like, you can look towards countries like Ireland. I understand that we all have different goals, but if your goal specifically is to stay after study, make sure. Example, I will not advise that you probably go to Canada for some courses, and also I will not advise that you go to Canada because right now in Canada, the recent turn of events is not about the it's not even about the PR. It's about the job, because you don't even want to have a PR without a job. That's the funny. You don't want to have a PR in a country that even though the immigration part is smooth, there's no job. So you want to maybe look towards countries like Ireland, where there's job, and to get at least the residency is quite favorable, and maybe like Germany, the residency is quite favorable. In fact, within 5 years, if you have all the necessary things and your course is actually one that, or your skill is one that is needed, you can actually get a PR in Germany. You can get residency in Germany. Even some have even said 3 years. I think there was this now I was watching 3 years. Yeah, so you want to think about these things. And third is the cost. Please and please, I'm emphasizing this because it's very important. Some countries are very expensive. We all know that studying in the US is expensive, unless if you maybe get a funding or maybe you are very extremely rich. We all know that studying in Canada is expensive. We understand that studying in Europe can be expensive and can be cheap, depending on what country specifically and what university, right? Considering the cost is very important because it's not just about your tuition. Cost includes your accommodation, it includes your feeding. Things are really expensive these days, especially with feeding. You want to consider the cost of your feeding, not just the fee, not just the your fee, not just the school fees. Feeding, very important. The cost of it, the cost of accommodation. Please consider these things. Add everything together. Times it times how many months you intend to stay. If your course is 2 years, multiply it. Am I able to fund these things? Am I able to pay for these things? 2 years. So please consider this when deciding where you want to go to. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope that this helps you. Please make sure to share this video with people. You can drop a nice comment so that I'm able to do more. Yeah, thank you. Subscribe, share. Thank you. Bye.